Good morning. Timothy Darrell, Young, BS, MPA. 15 years a targeted individual. My intelligence community betrayed me and the rest of the globe and the other outfits behind mind control and synthetic telepathy. Uh, grazed past a headline of suicide rates among college students being on the increase. It's because they're being broadcast. It's because uh, psychological, intellectual, and sexual perverts, sociopaths, narcissists, um, and psychopaths have the headgear and are targeting individual, um, whoever they desire. And so those young men and women on the increased numbers of suicide on college campuses are suiciding because of broadcasting. And all those people that we have in the jails for low-level criminal offenses that we don't have enough space in our state hospital to treat, they're getting broadcast. All those people that showed up in Southern California where they have so much garbage and rat problems is just a symptoms of the problem. They have like rat problems in LA and they're worried about bubonic plague. Those homeless people are being broadcast and slow kill exterminated, and lessons learned from like Nazi Germany on how to do this and get away with it, unfortunately, and keep it clean for the history books. All those people that showed up to Seattle, they don't have um, resources and structure and infrastructure enough to uh, help them as best we possibly could. Those people are being broadcast. It's not the guy who's homeless because he got made homeless by these gangs who are, among other things, trying to steal like my identity. Nobody's going to give a crap about my social media posts in 50 years. Anyways, the intelligence community, meaning like the CIA and the counterparts around the world that have had black budget R&D research dedicated to things like unholy in every way, because it is. Every component of mind control is unholy. Nobody should be accessing your mind directly like that. It's a crime against creation. Anyways, hundreds of years, or at least 100 years, of black budget focus on these capabilities have yielded unholy success. We've all been sold out. Every man, woman, and child. You never want to be synthetically telepathic. It took me a while to teach these perps that, like, look, man, you don't get high off the heroin you fucking take, dude. You do not get high off those lines of coke. It's your body's reaction to the substance. Exactly similarly, when your cell phone tells you to feel good because you fulfilled the program to torture a TI, that's still getting high on your own supply, champ. It's your own body being told to feel good, and such and so forth. And so we've been able to, at least for some of the perps that are still around, answer that question. So it doesn't create more sin and envy and jealousy in what are you getting the signal to make you feel good and I should have and blah blah blah. They're mind control addicts. We've all been sold out. There's 1.5 million of me out of Blackwater estimates, targeted individuals getting slow killed. My mom, my aunt, my cousin just got in a totaled her car wreck, and I haven't been able to contact my family or hear back from about them. It's more than me being a TI. It's about the synthetic telepathy mind control agenda internationally, and you losing every part of your free will like I have for the last 15 years. And the increased numbers of suicides on college campuses is because 55-year-old dudes from like the Howard circles or the faked Hispanic neighbors that have moved in and all the perps that have moved in around me, because they wouldn't get off their headgear and they wouldn't stop getting high off human suffering and human sacrifices. They're literally getting high off human sacrifices. All those people in LA, all those people in Seattle on the streets that can't function normally anymore because they're being broadcast. Nobody broadcasting anybody in Seattle's God. Nobody broadcasting me as God. Nobody broadcasting anybody in LA as God. All those people are being covertly exterminated in projects like called Project Phoenix, which is asset stripping and enslaving old women and taking their money, parading them around Redmond, and specifically telling them not to talk to like other people directly. I can't emphasize enough, and I won't make this a long video, but the talking at and indirectly to people as a means of destroying community out of like Zugstreak, lessons learned from like Nazi Germany, is so wickedly, wildly effective. Like, there may have been a lot of people that may wanted to hear from a TI like me, but because they were perpetrators and accepting commands from like their community-based agent or command central, they wouldn't talk directly to me. And then had some kind of protocol, like if you had intent to kill me, like they had a hard time talking to the person that they wanted to kill. And similarly, during wartime propaganda processes, dehumanization of the enemy is really important. Make them look like an animal or something like that, so they're easier to kill. Anyway, it's not only about me being 40 and 15 years of TI, and if they said they were making TIs in the 70s, that means they were probably doing it 50 years early in the 20s. It's not that I'm the only person to reveal information about the electromagnetic frequency and this sub-reality around 3D reality used to exploit, rape, and pillage all of us in 3D. It's not only that the FBI is trying to set me up for crimes I don't commit, distracting from non-reincarnation info. It's not only that the Secret Service relinquished my, presumed home security, and the NSA has played me and my family for a fool while we're being covertly exterminated. It's not only that my constitutional rights and Bill of Rights have been stripped and destroyed, my control of my own body and mind taken from me 15 years ago. It's that every intel agency in the world has sold you out. You don't want to have anything to do with synthetic telepathy. Nobody is sending you a signal that is the signal that's making you feel good, and that's somehow God, because it tells your body to feel good. It's your body feeling good. When you get drunk, you get your body's reaction to alcohol. Alcohol actually doesn't get you drunk, it's your body's reaction to the substance. Same thing with synthetic telepathy. 15 years of neurolinguistic programming every 15 to 20 seconds. Never allowed to use my brain the way it was intended. I've said it before and I said it again. My country's not the first country to drive political dissidents crazy, and it's not going to be the last. But if I was in 500-year central advanced planning, in the shadow, we have the shadow of the smoky backroom government of what's going to happen to the U.S. in 500 years, I'd be shitting a golden brick. Because you're going to be fucked in no good ways, and it's in no ways the fault or responsibility of one TI. I tried to tell you about non-reincarnation and hitting the oh shit buttons with people like John Lear's expertise or Project Camelot, or all the other TI that know we're being so systematically misled. Any notion of religion is a woeful distraction from the synthetic telepathy international mind control agenda. You don't want my life? Aspiring Arhut. Bodhisattvas get tricked into reincarnation. It's not out of love. And the niceties of how Buddhists have recalled the lessons of the last 2,400 years ago. A bodhisattva is somebody who reincarnates out of love to help and teach. No, they get tricked, like everybody else. Arhut. I'm not your God, I'm not your father, I'm not your son. And very literally, Zeke Heist and all of the addendums and additions to that film, you splitting a lie and then never really telling the truth about it for 219 years to take advantage of the uneducated and ignorant. It was never the S-O-N. It was always the S-U-N. And we wake up rotating around it every day. And at some point that's going to retire as a white dwarf. The literal SUN of the solar system. and I'm gonna jet and bounce and leave like Mr. Lear and a lot of other people who know what the fuck they're doing. And then there's probably life after death.